Hi! Hello! And welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tobias, and on this channel I talk about music. My biggest passion in life. It could be all kinds of music that I discovered since I actively started listening to music in the early 80s and up until now. I'm still discovering both new music, older music that is new to me, so it's a wonderful world, and that's why I started this YouTube channel, because I love talking about music. And before we start, I just want to say to you guys out there who might have seen that I uploaded a new video last week, or was it earlier this week actually, and then it was taken down after a couple of hours, and it was me, no one else, it wasn't YouTube or anything like that, because in that episode I tried to cram as much as possible into one video, and it became really lengthy. And I know videos from on my channel up until now have been really lengthy, but I did reconsider that one, and that's why I took it down, because it could easily be stripped down to 3 different episodes. So that's why I'm re-recording this. So let's kick things off with some things that dropped in my mailbox in the last couple of weeks, and let's start with the smaller format. This is a CD single from Pet Shop Boys. It's called Loneliness. What a great new single from Pet Shop Boys. This is taken from their upcoming album, Nonetheless, that will be released on, I think it was the 26th of April. Really looking forward to that one. And I usually don't go and buy CD singles nowadays, because usually the tracks do turn up on forthcoming albums. But in this case, I did make an exception, because when I listened to this one on Spotify, I was hooked immediately. I think it's a great single. And especially, and I will say the B-side now, but we could also call it the second track on this one, which is called Party in the Blitz. I got really hooked on this one, so this is a case where I actually think the B-side, or the second track, is the better one. And to my horror, when I read on the track listing on the forthcoming album, it wasn't included on there. So this is an exclusive track for this single. And so is the third one, Through You, which is called an extended mix. It's also an exclusive track. So I was like, I love Pet Shop Boys and I need this on a physical format. So I went to their official site and ordered this one. I think I picked it up for £6.99, the pounds that is. So I can highly recommend this if you're a fan of Pet Shop Boys and want it on a physical format because you're collecting Pet Shop Boys, who knows. This is a way to go for those 2 tracks. And Party in the Blitz, like I said, I love that track. It's like it's straight out of the debut album, Please. It's that synth poppy sound that they had in that era. And granted, Pet Shop Boys always been a bit synth poppy, but if you know your Pet Shop Boys, you probably know what I mean. Party in the Blitz is such a great track, and I love the other ones as too. And it's a bit curious with Through You, because it's called an extended mix. Will we ever get that in the original mix? Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. There will be more releases, perhaps another CD single or a vinyl, who knows? But up until that point, I got this one, Loneliness. And I'm also pleased with the presentation of this one, because it's so easy for record companies today to just put them in a normal cardboard sleeve and that's it. But they actually went the extra mile here. It's a gatefold. Really nice presentation. I really like the graphics here. It's a bit of a curtain over here. But it's just that you feel that you get a bit more for your money. You get those 3 lovely tracks, of course, but this, making it a gatefold, it seems a bit special, right? So yeah, really like this. Recommended if you haven't heard Loneliness yet, and especially Party in the Blitz. Go and stream it on your favorite streaming service. Really love this one. And more that was released is Dua Lipa and her new single called Training Day. And I got it here. Let's see if I can reach it. Here we go. It's a CD single. We got Dua Lipa there hanging from a pole of some sort. I went for this one as well because ever since the pandemic really, and I talked about this in one of my earlier episodes, that I really got hooked on Dua Lipa then. She's got this retro sound from the 80s, the pop sound, all of that. It's a mishmash of all kinds of things. And I really love that. And it was my theme for what we call the lockdowns here in the UK, or the pandemic. It was a lifesaver really, music-wise. Really, really good album. So ever since then, I've been looking forward to a new album. And as I said in the episode of my favorite releases from 2023 last year, I put her new single by then, Houdini, on that list because I was so I was so excited over that one. I thought it's a great track. And I also said at that point that it is available in a physical format and I won't buy it. But I caved in eventually. So yeah, I got this one at that point when it was still on her official shop. It's not there anymore, unfortunately, but I think you can pick it up fairly cheap on Discogs or something like that. And with that one, I also got the 7-inch single for Houdini, and I'm really pleased about that because it was on clear vinyl, and I love this presentation. It's very sparse, of course. You got the Houdini here down in the star, but it's on clear vinyl. You get the original track on one side and the instrumental on the flip side. And yeah, I just love this presentation. It looks like one of those old promo 7 inches that was sent out. But now back to her new one, which is called Training Season. And yeah, I ordered that one. And why not get the whole bundle? Because it's still available on, when I'm doing this video, it's still available on her official store. You can buy this CD single and this vinyl as well, just like with the Houdini one, but in this case it's an opaque red single. So you get the original one side, flip side, instrumental, just like with Houdini. And it's a similar design here. You got the stamp down here. It's actually a double stamp, so it's a red stamp and a black stamp, and it says Training Season. I said Training Day before, did I? It's Training Season. Great track, just like with Houdini. It just makes me want the new album, basically. But up until we get the new album, I have to stick with these ones, and of course Houdini that I showed as well. And just mention about the CD single. It's a beautiful presentation as well. You got Dua Lipa there as well. But they made it into a colored CD, and I don't believe I have any of these before, but it's been a trend for a couple of years where a lot of people, just like me, are very excited about colored vinyl. And now we got colored CDs as well, so I'm really pleased about that. What I'm not very pleased about is that you get one track on this CD, a CD single with one track, and you got this one with 2 tracks and instrumental as well. But on this one you don't even get the instrumental, and not even a remix or anything like that, just one original track. So I was a bit disappointed by that. Well, at least I get to listen to 2 of the tracks from her upcoming album. I do believe they are going to be included on that album. But yeah, I was a bit disappointed with that, but I should have taken some notice when I got the Houdini one, because that one came on a beautiful yellow CD, but it was the same case with this one. You just get the original track, nothing else, not an instrumental, nothing else, but you do get that when you order the vinyls, of course. So yeah, that was a bit of Dua Lipa. And yeah, just say, because I did order the bundles for both of them, you do get the cassette single as well. And just like the CD one, it just includes one track, and that's the original track. I don't have a cassette player, so I don't know really what to do with this. Perhaps I'll give it away to someone who is excited about Dua Lipa as I am, or I'll just keep it as a memento on some shelf somewhere. Who knows? But that's it. There was quite a lot of Dua Lipa there in one go, but it was mainly Training Season, her new single that is out, and I'm really excited, like I said, about her upcoming album. Really looking forward to that. Now on to another one which I mentioned in my last episode when I was going through the singles list for January 1984, and I did rediscover quite a lot of tracks on that one that I nearly forgot about. And one of them in particular stood out, and that was Eartha Kitt and Where's My Man.
I don't wanna be alone.
And I said in that episode that if I ever come across this single, Where Is My Man, I just have to pick it up. It just needs to be in my collection. I think it's such a great track, and I nearly forgot all about it until I did that episode. And lo and behold, 2 weeks after that episode was published, I came across this one, dirt cheap and in really nice condition. This, as you can see, is the 12-inch or the maxi single of Where Is My Man. Wow. And I'm so excited about this. You get the vocal version on this one, which is 6 minutes and 24 seconds, which means it's nearly 2.5 minutes longer than the 7-inch version or even the video version. So you get a couple of extra growls and roars from Eartha Kitt on this one.
Tiffany.
Brilliant stuff, really. But yeah, I'm so excited to have this one in my collection, and I already been spinning this one for a couple of times since I got it, and it seems like I never get tired of it. Love this one, so I just have to show it to you guys because I talked about it. Okay, now on to something else. This time that dropped in my mailbox last week, actually. On my list, if we're just going to go back to my best of 2023 list again, I mentioned Lana Del Rey there and her brilliant new album, Did You Know There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard. Love that album, but it all started with me and discovering Lana Del Rey with NFR. I think that was the first one I bought. And then I went to Chemtrails Over the Country Club. Love that one as well. Very different from NFR, but still in the same vein of what Lana is doing. And then I went on to not buying but streaming some of her earlier albums, and Born to Die was one of them. I had a couple of listens, but I never really got into that one, and it never really resonated with me. Still think it's good, don't take me wrong, but yeah, never really resonated with me. But another album that did resonate with me that I streamed was Lust for Life. So I ordered it. It had a bit of a reduced price when it came to the vinyl, so I was like, yeah, let's go for it, because what I've heard I love, and I don't regret it a bit. I only had one listen since this one dropped last week, but I really like what I'm hearing here, and this is a bit of a counterpoint to Born to Die. It's Lust for Life. And some people say it does harken back to the sound she had then, a bit of more hip-hop-ish sound, and yeah, I can agree to that in a sense. It does have some trap beats and things like that on it. It's just what happened. I think this one was released in 2017, so it's in some sense a product of its time, even if it's not, if that's not that long ago, if you know what I mean. But I don't really care about genres, really. If it's good music, it's good music, right? And this is really good music. And what really struck me when listening to this one is we are used to Lana Del Rey being this melancholy songwriter and singer, all about the dreams of old Hollywood and the romanticized American life, the dream of America and all of that. And I love that on all her albums. And certainly there is some of that on this, but what really stood out is that she took a step away from that in a sense on some of these tracks, at least what I picked up on it. And it has to do with some of the criticisms of the way of American life and the politics in America as well. So that was a bit of a refreshing way of listening to Lana Del Rey as well. And I always thought she was really funny, a bit tongue-in-cheek on most of the albums I've been listening to, and this is no exception. There's a lot of both funny moments and of course heavier moments as well. There's a lot of that melancholy, but in a way, I will say with most of the albums I listen to, it both could be a bit unnerving at points, but it also be very soothing. sometimes, so it's a bit of a roller coaster when it comes to Lana Del Rey, but I really enjoy listening to her albums, and like I said, this is no exception. Really, really good album. I will stop my tangent there on Lana Del Rey and my impressions of her music. This one, really nice packaging as well. As you can see, smiling Lana Del Rey here, and since this is a vinyl, it comes in a gatefold. And here we have a really nice picture, and this is more like we're used to see Lana Del Rey contemplating something, who knows, but it's a beautiful photo, and they placed it really well here on the gatefold. And on the back, a bit more serious Lana as well, so I really like these photos. And the whole presentation, like I said, is really good. You got some inners with the lyrics and some more photos, and the vinyl, I'm really pleased, is a colored one. This one is called a Coke Clear colored vinyl. It doesn't really resemble the Coke bottles that I remember, the glass bottle ones, but it's a nice vinyl. Really, really nice. But most importantly, it sounds really good. I think it's got a really good mastering to it. Nice, quiet record, nice pressing. So I can really recommend that. And that's just for this one, of course, because I haven't heard the standard black vinyl or any other vinyl colors that might have been released in the same era of this one in 2017. Yeah, so really pleased that I picked up this one. Love it so far, and I'm looking forward to go back to some of her older albums to rediscover them as well, see if I like them as much as the ones I already have in my collection. And I will also give Born to Die another shot, I promise you, see if I can get into that one. But this one, really good. Another one that dropped at the same time as Lana Del Rey was this one. This is The Weeknd, of course, and The Highlights, a bit of a greatest hits album. And I can't believe I haven't invested in a Weeknd album on a physical format so far. So I was like, I just have to pick this one up. It was on sale as well. It has a reduced price. It's a double LP, so was no-brainer really. I love The Weeknd. Loved everything I've heard so far from him, and like I said, I'm so surprised that I haven't picked up anything sooner from The Weeknd, but here it is. And what a great way to start a Weeknd collection with The Highlights. There is not a bad song on this one, of course, and I just have to say I was blown away with this pressing of this album. I thought I had some really, really good pressings of vinyl records in my collection, but this one takes the cake. This, I dare to say, could be used as a reference record when testing out your hi-fi equipment easily. It's such a good pressing, and the mastering on this one is out of this world. Really, really recommend this one on vinyl. And because it's a double, we also get the standard gatefold here with all the tracks listed and the credits, and a beautiful picture there of The Weeknd. And here's the back. Just the quality of this one. It's such a good pressing, and of course all the tracks are superb on this one. So I just have to show you this one because I'm so excited about getting that one. Okay, before I show you the next one that dropped in my mailbox, I just want to have a brief background around this. Because I discovered a new label and I'm so excited about this. I stumbled across an ad a while ago, I think it was on Facebook. It said, Plastic Pop Records are now re-releasing Sophie Ellis-Bextor's first 4 albums. And my ears perked up instantaneously because I'm a big fan of Sophie Ellis-Bextor, and I was, what is this? I already got them, of course. I got them on CD here since way back. So first one, second one, and so forth and so on. But this time around, they're going to release them on not only CD, but vinyl and cassette. So they got the full bundles. So I clicked on the link, went over to the website, and yeah, wow. I have to just say, wow. This is not the first time they re-release these albums by Sophie Ellis-Bextor. Turns out, a couple of years ago, they did exactly the same, and it was hugely popular, and they got really great praise because they were really good sounding, nice presentation and all of that. So I was like, I don't have these on vinyl, and if they sound half as good as what people claim they do, I'm gonna be in seven heaven. So said and done, I pre-ordered those, and while I was there on their site, I was a bit curious of what other artists they had on their label. And they didn't have that many, but the ones they had were all from the early 2000s. Think Sophie Ellis-Bextor's first and the foremost second album, that kind of thing. Pop dance, club music, all of that was going on in the early 2000s. They got Weeknd there, for example, as well. I'm not that keen on Weeknd, but just to give you a hint of what kind. But there was some other more left field artists, but very much of the sound that we think of when we think of early 2000s. And I didn't recognize some of them, so I was a bit curious. I had a listen on Spotify, and I really liked what I heard. And something that really blew me away was from an artist called, and we got the album here, yes, Lisa Scott Lee. Never heard of her before, and I am doing a separate review on this album, which is called Never or Now, released back in 2007 in a very limited distribution when it comes to physical format. It was only released on CD in certain regions. Otherwise, most of us had to download this from downloading services, buy it basically on MP3. That was the only way to get it. And what Plastic Pop Record did, they did release this, as you can see here. This is a vinyl one, also on CD and on cassette, just like with the Sophie Ellis-Bextor's one. So I ordered this one, and I'm going to talk, like I said, in a separate episode about this one, a full review. But yeah, so I just want to talk about this because I was so thrilled of finding out about a new label that was focusing on that era of pop dance, call it what you want. And last but not least, Sophie Ellis-Bextor. Yeah, so I'm really, really looking forward to those. The vinyls are being released in May, so you can pre-order them now. I think the CDs are already in stock if you want to order just the CDs. Don't know about the cassettes yet, but they have all kinds of bundles there on their website, so you can combine a cassette with a CD and a vinyl, and then just a bundle with just the cassette albums if you want that. So they have all kinds of bundles over there. I highly, highly recommend that. And no, I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape or form. I'm just so thrilled of discovering a new label, and Plastic Pop Records is really, really great. I'm really looking forward to more from them. There is so much good music released around that time, and maybe they will expand into other eras as well, who knows. But yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on Plastic Pop Records. But folks, I think this has been lengthy enough episode of me showing some of my new record pickups. So I will leave it there. And if you really like what I'm doing, please give me a thumbs up. And if you really don't like it, give me a thumbs down. I'm really after your honest opinion here. And it would be really nice to get those comments going as well. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you watching this episode from me. There will be more going forward. There's been a bit of a gap since my last one. I know that, but I've been planning a lot in the background around some specials, like I said before. So that will be coming up, and there will be a steady upload of videos on this channel going forward, I promise you. Well, that's for me from now. Until next time, take care of yourself, and adieu.